everybody, welcome to a 20-something's kitchen. So, with many holidays around the corner, I'm sure some of you out there have been asked to bring the salad for either the Christmas Eve dinner, the Christmas lunch, or a New Year's party that you might be going to. So, Amanda is here to help. I'm going to prevent you from running to the store, tossing the salad, and taking it to a function or party that you're going to with the embarrassment thinking that people are judging you. And I know God's the only one who's supposed to judge us, but there are some people at parties, we know who you are and you know who you are, who judge others if something came from the store. So you know what? We're going to shoot their shame that they try to give you, and we're going to make a couple salads. So I have 2 salads on deck. The first one in this video is a rice and green bean salad with a lemon mint vinaigrette. And the second one isn't so much a salad, but I can sell it as a salad because I'm from the Midwest. And that is a Snickers salad. Could be a salad, could be a dessert. Whatever. We'll get to that situation later. But for now, we're going to start in on our green bean and rice salad. And the rice I'm using today is an Italian rice. I don't know how to properly say the name, and I'm not even going to try because I know I'm not Giada. So Google it, Italian rice, that's what this is.
pronouncenames.com.
Arborio.
You could use a normal rice or you could use noodles. Just make sure that they are tiny like the grains of rice. And what I did was cook that and let it sit in the refrigerator overnight just so the rice could cool down. To begin the dish, what we're going to put in my little pan here is just a couple of onions, and we're going to mince those up really fine. Let them cook in some oil for about 3 to 5 minutes. And then we're going to add our chopped green beans to that pan as well. We just want to cook them down. We don't want them too mushy. They still want some texture to them, but we do want them to get a good cook before we add them to the rice. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, chop up my onions, get those going on the pan. Like I said, they'll be in there 3 to 5 minutes before you hit them with the green beans. And then to that, we're just going to add a little bit of oil, a little bit of our garlic, and then, of course, a little bit of chili flake, because who doesn't love a little heat on the holiday season? So I'll go ahead and get started on my onions. The onions are good to go into the pan and start cooking, and it's about a 1/3 cup of onions. You should be good to go. Throw those in your pan. Hit it with a little bit of olive oil, a little bit, like a pinch. You don't want the onions and green beans to be over greasy with that oil. So go ahead, put that on a medium heat, and let those start sauteing here. And so here we are. You can see they're so tall and adorable. They got the little sprouts at the end, so we're just going to do is slice it from the top, slice it from the bottom, and then just make little pieces here. I'll show you how small that you should be cutting them. And these are just fresh, washed green beans. So we're just going to have them about this small. I'll continue to do that for the rest of the pack, and then we'll add them to my onions here in a little bit. So my green bean cutting is complete. As you can see, I used about half of my little container here. You can use all of it and cook it all up at once and save a little for later and just add as much as you want to this dish. But for now, I'm just going to use half of it, and like I said, I might just use a handful of these and save the rest for lunch later on this week. So to my pan, I did add a couple of the red chili flakes as promised. I'm going to add the rest of my beans, and then towards the end, I'm going to hit it with a little bit of the garlic paste that I like to use, and a little bit of black pepper as well. Go ahead and give these a transfer. The green beans are all cooked off, and those are just setting aside to cool. And before you do make the salad, just like the rice, you want the green beans to be close to completely cooled or completely cooled. So those will probably take about a half an hour to cool down. And while we're waiting for that, we'll go ahead and get started on the dressing for this little side salad. And it's one of those things, the longer it sits, the better it gets. So we're going to make it now, let it sit in the refrigerator for about a half an hour or however long it takes for the green beans to cool down before we start assembling and tossing the salad here. So let's go ahead and get started. What I'm going to do is grab some fresh mint. I don't know about you guys out there, but the smell of mint always reminds me of mojitos. I'm not an alcoholic, I just love mojitos. That'd be a fun holiday drink too. You could have a mojito with a couple cranberries in there. It'd be really pretty. Maybe I'll start another vlog, a 20-somethings hidden liquor cabinet. And next you're going to need 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And how I measure it, since I don't have a juice squeezer, is about this much of a lemon is maybe half a tablespoon to a full tablespoon. So just keep an eye on those. I'm going to do 4 little wedges here and just squeeze it right in. And make sure your hands are clean too, because I'm going to use this as my strainer just to catch any seeds that might try to sneak into our dressing. And next we're going to do 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Are you seeing a trend here? The first couple ingredients, all 2 tablespoons. Next you're going to add a little bit of black pepper. Your preference, I'd say about 1/4 teaspoon to 1/2 teaspoon. And if you have a blender, what you can do, you can see this is a thick sauce because of that mint. If you have a blender, you can blend it all up and it'll become this really pretty green color for the dressing. I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of garlic, like 1/4 teaspoon of the paste. A little bit of salt. And give it another stir. So I'll go ahead, top this off, and then what I'll do is set it in the refrigerator, let it marinate and sit there until it is ready to go and to be put into the salad. The green beans have cooled down. We'll take a look at them. They have a beautiful color with the red chili flakes in there. It kind of gives us that Christmas look with the red and green. We have our rice, and then we have our dressing that's been marinating in the fridge for about a half an hour to 40 minutes. So next is assembly. So what you can do is you can have it in a bowl, and then before you go to your party or event, you can maybe put it in like a big white bowl or any kind of fun bowl you have. Otherwise, you can keep it in a clear one or any kind of Tupperware you have. Clear is really pretty because you can see all the colors and everything in it. Another bowl is fun too. What you can do for a garnish on top is you can have a couple lemon wedges, or you can put a couple mint sprigs in there. Without further ado, let's go ahead and start putting our dish together. So to build it, I'm just going to do a couple layers. That way when we mix it, nobody gets missed with any dressing, and every bite that someone has, we want it to be even. And a good alternative if you don't like green beans would be edamame. That'd be really good in this dish as well. So we'll give that a mix, and then just slowly add our dressing. So we'll do the first bit of it, give that a spin, and you don't want to overcoat this as well. Like I had said earlier, you might use all of it, you might just use a little bit of it, but just use your judgment. And before you leave, if you notice that not everything is covered, add a little more olive oil or lemon juice to it, or any remaining dressing you might have. Delicious. I'm just going to go ahead and use all of mine. I'm going to hit it with a little pepper and then a couple more chili flakes. So as you can see, we have all of our colors going. We have the green beans, we have the rice, and then you also have the mint in there as well. It has this delicious smell with the lemon, the mint, the red chili flakes, the onions. Everything's working together really well for this dish. So now that this is complete, I'll kind of show you guys how I would plate it if I were to be taking it to a holiday party. Happy holiday.